Hi guys and welcome back. So I'm back here with another fun Christmas video. Today we're going to be making an adorable little Christmas decoration. You can use this either on your door, you can use it on your tree. It's going to be a little sloth that's hanging off a Christmas wreath. Before we get started, if you haven't done so already, please subscribe to the channel and click on the bell icon to get notified every time I post a video. If you try out any of my patterns, please send them to me either on Instagram or by email. The links are in the description below. So let's get started. So here are all the supplies you're going to need for this project. I'm going to be using sport weight yarn. This is Alize cotton gold because I want my project to be smaller. If you want this to be bigger, you can use medium 4 worsted weight yarn. I have some green for the wreath, some red and white for the Santa hat, as well as I've taken 2 colors for the body and the face of the sloth. You can use one color, darker shades, whatever you like. I also have a bangle. We're going to be creating the wreath around this. Along with all of my yarn, I'm going to be using a 3mm crochet hook. I also have a yarn needle, a stitch marker, a set of safety eyes and nose. If you don't have these, you can just use black yarn and embroider on, and a pair of scissors. You're also going to need some stuffing. You can use polyfill, fiberfill or stuffing from pillows. Now to get started, we're going to be working a magic ring. You have to use the color that you want the head and the body to be in. To create a magic ring, create an X at the back of your fingers. Insert your crochet hook into the bottom. Pick up the top and twist, and then just pull up a loop. You have a magic ring ready. Now into this magic ring, you're going to place 6 single crochets. Insert your crochet hook into the ring, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the last one for 6. Now we're going to tug the tail end of this magic ring to close it up, and that finishes your first row. Now for the second row, into each one of these stitches from the previous row, we're going to place 2 single crochets. This is called an increase. So into the first one, 1 and 2. Into the one after that, 1, 2, into the next one, 1, 2, and you're going to do this 6 times all the way around until you have 12 stitches for this row. Now we're going to place a stitch marker into the 12th stitch to keep track of our rows, and we can get started with the next row. For the next row, into the first stitch, you're going to place 1 single crochet. Into the one after that, an increase or 2 single crochets, 1, 2. Into the next one, 1. Into the one after that, 1 and 2. Again into the next one, 1. Into the one after that, 1 and 2. And you're going to do this 6 times all the way around until you have 18 stitches for this row. 1, 1 and 2. Now for the next row, you're going to place 2 single crochets, 1 in the first stitch, 1 in the second stitch. Into the third stitch, an increase or 1 and 2. Again 1, 1, 1 and 2. And you're going to do this 6 times all the way around. So you're going to do 1, 1, 1, 2 until you have 24 stitches for this row. Now for the next row, we're going to do 3 single crochets, 1 in the first stitch, 1 in the second stitch, 1 in the third stitch. Into the fourth one, 1 and 2, 6 times all the way around until we have 30 stitches for this row. Now for the next row, you're going to place 4 single crochets followed by an increase 6 times all the way around until you have 36 stitches for this row. Now for the next 8 rows, you're just going to place 1 single crochet all the way around for 36 stitches for each of the rows. So complete the next 8 rows and then meet me back here again. Now once you're done with your repeat rows, this is what it should look like. Now we're going to start with our first row of decreases. So do 4 single crochets, 1, 2, 3 and 4. And now if you see, every stitch has a V. We're going to pick up only the loop which is facing towards us. So just the front loop. Do this for the first stitch as well as the stitch next to that. You have 2 loops on the hook from this and 1 loop from before. So 3 loops on the hook. Yarn over, pull through 2. Yarn over, pull through 2. Let's do that again. 4 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4. And now it's time for a decrease. Split the first stitch, pick up the front loop, split the next stitch, pick up the front loop. You have 3 loops on the hook. Yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Now you're going to do this 6 times all the way around until you have 30 stitches for this row. Now for the next row, you're going to do 3 single crochets followed by a decrease. So 1 in the first stitch, 1 in the second stitch, 1 in the third stitch. Let's do a decrease together again. Split the first stitch, pick up the front loop, split the next stitch, pick up the front loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Do this 6 times all the way around until you have 24 stitches for this row. Now for the next row, you're going to do 2 single crochets followed by a decrease 6 times all the way around until you have 18 stitches for this row. Now we're done with the head and we're going to start with the body. So to do the first row of the body, we're going to pick up only the front loops and do 2 single crochets followed by an increase, 1 and 2, 6 times all the way around until we have 24 stitches for this row. So remember, we're working only in the front loops. And this is to give a little bit of definition and a split between the head and the body. Now for the next row, you're going to do 3 single crochets followed by an increase 6 times all the way around until you have 30 stitches for this row. Now for the next row, you're going to do 4 single crochets followed by an increase 6 times all the way around until you have 36 stitches for this row. And once you're done with that, for the next 9 rows, you're just going to place 1 single crochet all the way around for 36 stitches for each of the rows. And this will start creating the structure for your body. Now once you're done with your repeat rows, this is what it should look like. Now before we proceed, we're just going to add stuffing to the head. Now make sure that you add enough stuffing. You have to push it all the way to the head, and along with adding stuffing, we're also going to keep shaping it. Now for the next row, we're going to go back to doing decreases. So you're going to do 4 single crochets followed by a decrease 6 times all the way around until you have 30 stitches for this row. Just to show you how to do a decrease again, split the first stitch, pick up the front loop, split the next stitch, pick up the front loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Now for the next row, we're going to do 3 single crochets followed by a decrease 6 times all the way around until we have 24 stitches for this row. Now for the next row, you'll be placing 2 single crochets followed by a decrease 6 times all the way around until you have 18 stitches for this row. Now before we proceed to the next row, let's go ahead and stuff the body. And now with every row that we do, we're going to just add stuffing so that the body is stuffed properly. Now for the next row, we're going to do 1 single crochet followed by a decrease 6 times all the way around until we have 12 stitches for this row. As I said, don't forget to keep adding your stuffing on. Now for the last row, we're going to just decrease all the way around. So you'll have 6 decreases. And then we're going to close this up. So just do your 6 decreases. Now once you're done with your decreases, leave a long tail. Snip your yarn off. Thread up your yarn onto a yarn needle. And then we're going to remove our stitch marker, pull the yarn through, and now just do a simple stitch to close up the hole at the back. And once you're done, this is what it should look like. So now you can start working on the face. I've gone with a lighter color. Start with a magic ring with 6 single crochets, increase to 12, 1 single crochet followed by an increase for 18, and then 2 single crochets followed by an increase for 24 stitches for this row. Now for the next row, you're going to place 1 single crochet into the next 4 stitches, 3, 4. In the next 2 stitches, we're going to do half double crochets. Yarn over, insert your crochet hook, pull up a loop. You have 3 loops on the hook, yarn over, pull through all 3. Do that one more time. Now into the next 4 stitches, we're going to do double crochets. Yarn over, insert your crochet hook, pull up a loop. Yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. That's 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now in the next stitch, you're going to do 3 double crochets, all into the same stitch. That's 1, 2, and 3 into the same stitch. Into the next stitch, we're going to do 1 half double crochet. Now for the next 2 stitches, we're going to do slip stitches. Insert your crochet hook and just pull the yarn through. 1 and 2. So this completes one half of the face. Now we're going to repeat the same pattern but in reverse. So we're going to start with 1 half double crochet in the first stitch. Into the next stitch, we're going to do 3 double crochets, 1, 2, and 3. Into the next 4 stitches, 1 double crochet each, 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1 half double crochet into the next 2 stitches, 1, 2, followed by 3 single crochets, 1, 2, and 3. Now you're just going to slip stitch into the next stitch. This completes the whole face. We're going to leave a tail which we're going to use to sew it on to the head. Snip your yarn off and pull it right through. You have the face of your sloth ready. So now we can work on the eyes. So for that, we're going to start with a magic ring. I'm doing this with some white yarn. Into this magic ring, you're going to place 6 single crochets. Tuck the tail end to close up your magic ring. Now into the next 2 stitches, you're going to place an increase each. So 1 and 2 into the first stitch, 1 and 2 into the next stitch, and you're just going to slip stitch onto the following stitch. Leave a tail which we're going to use to sew on. Snip your yarn off, pull it through. That completes the background of your eye. Now you can just take one of your safety eyes and push it onto the center like this, and then these are going to go on the sides of the face. So once you're done with both your eyes, you can attach this to the face and then add the safety backing at the back. Now once you've put on the safety eyes, this is what it should look like. I've added a little safety nose as well. If you don't have safety eyes and a safety nose, you can just use some black yarn and just do a little bit of embroidery. So now we're going to start working on the arms and legs. You're going to follow this exact pattern for all 4 pieces, but we'll do a bit of a variation for the legs. So let's get started with the basic pattern. So we're going to start with a magic ring. Into the magic ring, you're going to place 6 single crochets. Now for the next row, you're going to do 1 single crochet followed by an increase. You're going to do this 3 times all the way around until you have 9 stitches for this row. So that's the second iteration, and finally the third one. Now for the next 10 rows, you're just going to place 1 single crochet all the way around for 9 stitches for each of the rows. For the 2 arms, you're just going to snip your yarn off because this ends the pattern. For your 2 legs, don't snip your yarn off because I'll show you what you need to do next. Now let me show you the variation for the legs. So I've done the exactly same pattern as I did for the hands. Only difference is for the last row, we're going to do 2 single crochets followed by an increase 3 times all the way around until we have 12 stitches for this row. So let's just finish up the row and I'll show you what it looks like. Here's my last increase. Remove the stitch marker, slip stitch onto the next stitch, and this completes your leg. Now we can start working on the wreath. So I have the bangle right here. We're going to take some green yarn and we're just going to knot it around the bangle to attach it. Now you're going to place your crochet hook inside of the bangle and we're going to pick up the yarn and do a single crochet. Again, go across from the bottom to the top and do a single crochet, and keep doing these till you've gone all the way around the bangle. Like this. So go all around the bangle, make your single crochets around, and when you're at the end, I'll show you how to proceed. Now once you're done, this is what it should look like. For the next row, we're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3. Into that same stitch, we're going to place 4 more double crochets. Like this. Now into the next 4 stitches, you're just going to place slip stitches. So that's the first slip stitch, the second, the third, and the fourth. Now into the next stitch, you're going to place 5 double crochets, and this is the pattern that we're going to repeat all the way around. We're going to do 5 double crochets followed by 4 slip stitches. Let me just show you what that looks like. So you have a little leaf pattern that gets formed like this, and you're going to do this all the way around. Just place 5 double crochets followed by 4 slip stitches like this. So once you reach the other side, I'll show you what to do next. Now once you're done with the basic wreath pattern, this is what it should look like. Now you can add little bits of decoration around this if you like. Now we're just gonna snip our yarn off, pull it through, and you can tuck in this end later. So now let's work on assembling the sloth. So I'm going to first attach the face, and what we're going to do is we're going to attach the face sideways, so not to the center but to the side. I'm just going to thread up my yarn, decide the placement of the face. So I want it to be right here. All these loose ends, we're just going to tuck it behind, and while we sew it in, we're going to keep it on the inside like this. Now I'm going to place the face where I want it like this, and then just do a simple stitch into the front and back to sew this in place like this. So go all the way around and sew the face in place. Next we're going to sew on the arms and legs. So let me show you how we're going to place these. These are all 4 of them. What we're going to do is we're going to move our sloth sideways like this, and we're going to have the 2 arms up this way, followed by the 2 legs on the bottom. So let me show you how to stitch on one of these pieces. So now I've threaded on one of these pieces. We're going to go on to the side. So we want the sloth to be facing sideways like this. Go over a couple of stitches. Place the hand in place. We want it to be horizontal this way. And then you're just going to do a simple stitch through the front and back, stitching your little arm in place. Like so. And once you're done with one part, you're going to do the other arm and then both the legs. Now once you've attached all 4 of the limbs, this is what it should look like. Now we're just going to take a wreath and we're just going to attach the arms and legs together so that he hangs off the wreath like this. So I've got some of the same yarn that I used for the fur. I'm just going to thread this up, and now I'm going to attach the 2 legs together first. Make sure that your ring is inside when you do this. Just do a simple stitch to attach these in place like this. And once you're done, this is what your little sloth should look like. It just hangs off the bangle, and you can use this like a Christmas ornament. So now we're going to work on a little Christmas hat. I've started with a magic ring with 6 single crochets and then done 4 rows of just 1 single crochet all the way around for 6 stitches for each of the rows. Now for the next row, we're going to place 1 single crochet followed by an increase, 1 and 2. And you're going to do this 3 times all the way around until you have 9 stitches for this row. Now you're going to follow this up with 3 rows of just 1 single crochet all the way around for 9 stitches for each of the rows. Now for the next row, you're going to place 1 single crochet in the first stitch, 1 in the second stitch, into the third, 1 and 2. You're going to do this 3 times all the way around until you have 12 stitches for this row, 1 1 and 1 2. Now for the next row, again you're going to do 2 single crochets, 1 2 followed by an increase, 1 and 2. You're going to do this 4 times all the way around until you have 16 stitches for this row. Now for the next 3 rows, you're just going to place 1 single crochet all the way around for 16 stitches for each of the rows. So now once you're done, you're going to just snip your yarn off, and we're going to switch to some white yarn. So I've got my last stitch right here. Now I have some fuzzy white yarn with me. You can just use regular white yarn. We're just going to hold this in front of the loop on our hook and just pull it through. Now since this yarn is thicker, I'm actually going to be sizing up to a bigger crochet hook. This is a 4.5mm crochet hook. As I said, if you're using the same yarn, just continue on. It's much easier. Okay, and now for this row, we're just going to place 1 single crochet all the way around for 16 stitches for this row to give it a nice little border. And then you can snip your yarn off and pull it right through. Now once you're done, you should have a fuzzy little hat looking like this. I'm going to snip my yarn off. And I'm just going to pull this through. And then just use a yarn needle to tuck this end in, or you can just push it in like this. You have a little Christmas hat ready. Now if you want, you can just add a small piece of yarn on top to make a little bobble. Now you can attach this to the side of the sloth's head, and you can just bend the hat down like this. So here's my adorable little sloth charm ready. You can put this up on your Christmas tree, you can hang it on your door. It'll just bring in some lovely festive spirit to your house. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. If you liked the video, please subscribe to the channel and click on the bell icon to get notified every time I post a video. Until next time, bye bye.